I got to be honest, I reread that article during my break, and I'm worried he's going to ride our asses all summer. I didn't get that impression, exactly. He's definitely taking it seriously. Kate frowns. That's what I mean. I'm kind of loving how chill it is here. Truman is going to be stressful enough. It's sort of nice to not work super hard. She lets out a long exhale. I just want to have fun this summer. Amelia swallows. What would she do if Kate didn't come back? Could she manage the stand, manage Grady, on her own? It'll still be fun, Amelia says. It'll be me and you. Remember, I make the schedule, so we'll always get to work together. I know, Kate says, not exactly sold. Oh, and speaking of Truman, Kate, you should have seen his eyes light up when I told Grady you were going on scholarship. At this, Kate flushes, and even though her conversation with Grady didn't exactly happen like this, it strikes Amelia that Grady and Kate will probably get along famously. Both are driven and smart. In a brain fast-forward, she imagines them meeting, falling in love, getting engaged after they both graduate, serving home sweet home at their wedding, their very cute baby in a little Truman onesie. Kate examines her manicure, indifferent. I guess it would be cool to be friends with someone before I even get to campus. Exactly. And though Amelia is glad she can see things shifting in her favor, it also dawns on her that Kate doesn't have any hesitation at all about leaving Sand Lake for Truman. Not like she does. Jordan returns with the teddy bear. It is absolutely terrifying, with an off-kilter eye and cheap fur that makes it seem like it has a kind of stuffed animal mange. Jordan hands it to Kate, who doubles over laughing. Then Jordan says, I think you dropped something, Amelia. He bends down and picks up a red wrapper. Kate gasps. Is that a condom? Startled, Amelia looks down and sees that her purse has unzipped. As she takes it off her shoulder, a bunch more tampons and condoms spring out and onto the floor like a weird drugstore piñata. Of course, Kate makes Amelia tell them both the story, and soon the three of them are in hysterics. I love that you thought to do that, Kate says. Protect our honor. She turns to Jordan and says, This is why I love her. And then she breaks the news to him that she is quitting Jump Zone and going back to Mead Creamery. Jordan looks sad, legitimately bummed to be losing Kate. Amelia, of course, doesn't blame him. Kate tells him that the next time he comes to Mead Creamery, she'll hook him up. And, as it is with most disappointments, the promise of ice cream makes things a little bit better. Chapter 13. On the ride home from Jump Zone, Amelia types a quick text to the rest of the stand girls to share the good news and ask that they report to work tomorrow at 6 a.m. She reads it aloud for Kate before sending. Kate has feedback. I think it should sound more fun, like an invite to a party. So, more exclamation points? Think ice cream humor. Maybe something about having a sweet scoop on some summer jobs. Ooh, that's cute. You're good. Or maybe, I scream, you scream, we all scream because I got us our jobs back? Kate shakes her head. Okay, no, I like the sweet scoop thing better, but add a winky face, otherwise the girls might not get that it's a joke. And follow up with the 6 a.m. thing separately to each girl after they've already said yes, because if you'd told me that before, I'd still be working at Jump Zone. Kate preemptively ducks, knowing Amelia is going to swat her. By the time they get to Amelia's house, Amelia has received yeses from 5 girls. The 6th response is a no that comes in later, after dinner, when Amelia and Kate are upstairs in Amelia's room. Apparently, Brittany is loving her new job at Sephora. Amelia sets her phone down, stunned. That's a bummer. Can I be honest? Kate bites her bottom lip. I never loved Brittany. Really? Why? Last year, she got super weird about the newbie chores, as if cleaning the bathroom was some personal slight against her. How did I not hear about that? No idea, but it pissed a lot of girls off, especially Heather. During the last week of summer, I swear Heather was one eye roll away from straight up firing her. Kate shrugs. I say good riddance. We'll get way more hustle out of hiring a third newbie. Amelia can't imagine anyone getting fired from Mead Creamery. She's also reminded that she didn't mention the need to hire newbies to Grady yesterday. Obviously, tomorrow it will be way too crazy to try and train any new girls. But now it can be more than an abstract conversation because she knows for sure that they're down 3 girls instead of the 2 Amelia thought she'd have to replace. 3 girls adds up to an entire shift. Amelia brought up a plate of snacks with her earlier, some Cracker Barrel cheddar cheese and Ritz crackers, but Kate hasn't touched anything, and the ice is melting in her glass of Coke. What are you doing over there, all secretive? Amelia sits on her knees and tries to peek at Kate's phone screen. Oh, just a little recon on one Grady Patrick Mead. Amelia freezes, her glass of Coke just underneath her nose, the fizz tickling her upper lip. And? I haven't found much yet. His accounts are set to private, friends only. Another tap or two, and Kate says, Ooh, wait up. This could be something. And then Kate holds her phone high in victory. Yes, jackpot. Amelia sets her Coke down and, trying not to look too eager, crawls over, asking, Anything interesting? I did a little research on Truman's fraternity chapters. Alpha Kappa Psi is the business one, and Grady's in some of the party pictures. Kate winces at the screen, laughing. Okay, he's still hot, but this is the dorkiest thing I've ever seen. Kate flips her phone around to show Amelia a photo of Grady Mead standing with 5 other guys in a line, arms slung around each other's shoulders. Grady is the tallest and the tannest one, the thinnest, too. He doesn't seem skinny in real life, but the other guys are beefy, like rugby players or something. Anyway, they're wearing matching pastel button-up shirts, Madras plaid bow ties, short khaki shorts, and docksiders. Amelia curls up to Kate and takes a closer look. To Amelia, Grady seems so much more relaxed here than he was at the stand with her. Isn't it funny to think of me going to parties like this? Kate says, full of these rich, fancy people. Amelia studies the picture. The boys are in someone's backyard, a fancy one with topiaries and a pergola and a huge in-ground pool. Someone who looks like a waiter stands in the background, balancing a tray on one hand. Not at all. I feel like this is your destiny. Kate has always had her sights set on something bigger than Sand Lake. She was the one who advocated tirelessly for their senior class trip to go to New York City. In those 3 days, Amelia's pretty sure Kate never slept. Even at night, when the teachers would put tape over their hotel room doors, Kate would stay awake, watching the city streets from their hotel window. Kate smiles appreciatively. I'm actually required to take a bunch of business classes for my science degree. The thinking is that one of us might invent some crazy new medicine or diagnostic tool that could, with the right investors, make us millionaires or whatever. I should get Grady's take on which professors are good and which ones suck. Amelia sees this as another thing Grady and Kate have in common. They both are able to take a totally intimidating situation and see opportunity for themselves. Kate swipes to another photo, one of Grady at the same party. He's now stripped down to just his swim trunks, in the beautiful pool, riding a huge inflatable swan. He's wearing his classic Ray-Ban Wayfarer sunglasses and beaming a bright and toothy smile to the camera. A girl in a metallic bikini clings to him, her head resting against his back, eyes closed. So that's his girlfriend, Amelia deduces. The girl is extremely pretty, tall like a model, with perfectly polished red nails and a cloud of thick black curly hair. Amelia feels a heat prickling inside her ribcage. She very well could be, I guess. And Kate wags her finger at Amelia. She's also the president of the Truman Future Business Leaders Club. I found these pictures through her page. Oh, Amelia says, mortified. It's okay. Biases are strong as hell, right? But girlfriend or not, I'm sure Grady will try to get with one of our girls this summer. Do you think? I mean, he's our boss. Anyway, that's the line in the sand Amelia's tried to remind herself of. Kate shakes her head like Amelia is naive. You can't let a fox into the henhouse and not expect some carnage, Amelia. That's why we'll need to make it crystal clear to the younger girls that Grady's completely and totally off limits. Yes, completely and totally off limits, Amelia echoes, and hearing herself say it aloud, like a pledge, comforts her. This new rule isn't emotional, it isn't personal. It's simply a sound and solid reason to smother any burgeoning interest she may have for Grady. Beyond, of course, his ability to successfully run Mead Creamery. They watch a movie and paint each other's nails, white with little flecks of color to look like sprinkles. Kate showers first, Amelia second, so they won't have to do it in the morning. Kate knows what drawer Amelia's PJs are in, and she helps herself to a matching set of a floral cami and boxers, which Amelia realizes, come to think of it, might belong to Kate. Kate burrows into her nest of blankets on Amelia's floor, while Amelia props herself up with a pillow and begins a to-do list in a notebook. There's no way I'm going to sleep this early, Kate says. I don't think I've fallen asleep before 10 since I was in diapers. It's important we get our rest. Then put your notebook down. I'm trying to figure out how we're going to get everything done tomorrow. We'll only have 5 hours. We won't get everything done, Kate says, matter of fact. And so what? It's not like Grady will know the difference. Plus, we can always catch up after opening day. That's true. And you know, if you think about it, some of the chores we had to do to prep the stand were kind of bogus. Like rake the dirt. Seriously? I mean, don't get me wrong, I would totally rake dirt, no complaints, if Molly were still alive. But it's not like Grady will know one way or the other. Kate braids her hair and smiles slyly. We should really think about how to use that to our advantage. Amelia looks at her chore list and tries to think about what else could or should be changed. She's sure there's something, though nothing jumps out at her. She puts down her notebook, clicks off the light, and closes her eyes. Despite her protests, Kate's out quickly, and if they didn't have to be up super early, Amelia might poke her awake and make a joke about it. Amelia wants to fall asleep herself, but has the sense she won't anytime soon. It probably wasn't smart to think about the stand before bed. It's got her all anxious. She picks up her phone. After turning the brightness down on the screen, she does a little digging on Grady Mead herself. Purely from a business standpoint, of course. She finds an article in the Truman Alumni News featuring Grady and his dad. There's a picture accompanying it, and it's the complete antithesis of the ones Kate found on the fraternity account. This shot is sober, corporate, constructed. Grady is wearing a white-collared shirt and a Truman blue tie knotted tightly around his neck. He's standing next to his father, who's behind a huge mahogany desk inside a rich-looking library, wearing the same tie but a different shirt. neither smiles. Recalling the awkward exchange between them outside the stand, Amelia suspects this is the reason why Grady's social media is on lockdown. The article states that Grady's father is a big-time businessman and one of Truman's most famous and successful alumni. His career took off when he was barely 20, and he began constructing his own billboards out of scrap lumber and placing them on his parents' property. He'd sell advertising to local businesses, use the money to lease more land on neighbors' property, and sell more ads. When asked whether retirement might be in his future, his answer is, "I don't think that's going to be possible. Everywhere I look, I see the potential to make money. That's the lens I'm always wearing." In a closing sentence, there is a mention of Quinn Greenfield Meade. Amelia cuts and pastes the name into a new search. Before she can stop herself, she's scrolling through Grady's mom's photo stream, looking at different birthdays, never a homemade cake, always celebrated at a restaurant, and holidays. St. Patrick's Day seems big for them, which isn't surprising, and vacations, several ski trips, one Hawaiian resort, what looks like an Alaskan fishing cruise, the Harry Potter theme park, all going back to when Grady was 7 years old. Quinn's pictures are mostly of Grady and herself. Many shots don't include his dad, even on Grady's high school graduation day, which took place around this time last summer. There's a selfie of Quinn tucked underneath Grady's arm in his cap and gown. She's done up beautifully, in a white sheath and matching white cardigan with pearl buttons, her hair perfectly blown out in soft, bouncy curls. Grady looks all Meade DNA. Amelia doesn't see much of Quinn in him. She squints and brings the phone screen closer. Maybe the brows. They both have great brows. Chapter 14. If Amelia could warn Kate's future college roommate about anything, it would be that she's the absolute worst at mornings. Once Amelia's awake, she's ready to go at full power. But the earlier Kate is dragged out of bed, the more time she needs to ease into things. Amelia has learned over the years that waking Kate up is a process. You have to give her ample time and space to look at her phone, to slowly join the living. Rushing only makes her crabbier and slower. Today, that means setting a series of alarms every 10 minutes, beginning at 5 in the morning. Eventually, Kate arches her back in a deep stretch. Grady better be grateful. The only time I wake up this early is for Black Friday sales. I still can't believe you got your laptop for $100. Just call me Doorbuster, Kate says with a yawn. Amelia sits on the edge of her bed, already dressed, Kate's Meade Creamery polo and shorts on her lap. She tosses them to Kate as Kate strips out of her jammies. "Don't forget your head girl pin," Kate says. "I can't believe I have to keep reminding you." They share the sink, brushing their teeth, washing their faces. Amelia pees upstairs while Kate uses their downstairs bathroom. And then Amelia's pushing Kate out the front door. Once outside, Kate hides her eyes from the sun and digs in her bag for those gas station sunglasses. "You'd better not sign up for any classes before noon," Amelia warns. "You'll lose your scholarship." "Maybe we should register for classes around the same times. Then you can be my wake-up call. I mean, we're already going to be talking to each other every day." It's honestly not a bad idea, except they won't be in the same time zone. Kate pats herself down for the key to her truck. "How about we grab breakfast somewhere? Starbucks drive-thru?" "Nope,